This tank is one that I've been frothing at the mouth to look at. One that is not your conventional tank per se, as it's considered a tank destroyer. It doesn't have a conventional rotating turret, but don't let that put you off, as its silence and low profile is exactly what excites me. This is the most exciting, lowest, and underrated tank destroyer Germany has ever made, well, at least in War Thunder. When you come across it in battle, and if you do survive, the first thought that comes to mind is, where did that come from? It's called the Panzer IV 70V, and holy moly, it is badass. Befitting of the German casemate destroyer line, the frontal armor of the Panzer IV 70V is very formidable. It's also known as the Panzer IV 70V. It features a solid frontal plate of 80mm sloped at 50-degree armor, resulting in a staggering 120mm of protection. It holds the 75mm Pak 42 cannon with a rate of fire below average. But don't let that hold you back. Its silence and its ability to blend in some environments make it really, really dangerous. Since this is only a little tidbit of information on this tank, let's dive into its history and how it came to be. The story of the Panzer IV 70V actually began in September 1942, when the Waffenamt issued a request for developing a new design of Sturmgeschütz. It was to be armed with the 7.5cm KWK ALF 70 gun, or Pak 42 cannons as some of you may know it today, and protected with 100mm of frontal armor and 40 to 50mm of side armor. It was supposed to have the lowest possible height, a top speed of 25 km an hour, and a weight of up to 26 tons. Now bear in mind this was the prototype specifications. According to original plans, a completely new chassis was to be developed, but due to the lack of industrial capability at the time, the Panzer IV tank chassis was chosen instead. Further to that, there were inadequate numbers of 75mm AL 70 guns available for the design, so the shorter AL 48 had to be used instead. The maximum front armor was 60mm instead of 100mm, but placed at a higher angle which provided good protection we see in the game. In general, this vehicle had more or less the same operational combat characteristics as the already produced Stug 3 or Sturmgeschütz 3 anti-tank version. Both had the same gun, but the Panzer IV had a more effective and much simpler armor design. In a conference held in late 1944, Hitler himself urged for future development and rearmament of the Panzer IV with a more powerful 7.5cm AL 70 gun. Later on in the year, he gave orders to terminate the Panzer IV production in favor of the Panzer IV 70V and Panzer IV 70A, based on the fact that the normal Panzer IV was reaching its developmental peak and had few options available for improving its overall performance. The whole conversion process was to be completed by February 1945. As the German army lacked sufficient numbers of the operational tanks required, this order was never fully implemented and the Panzer IV remained in production until the end of the war. So, back to War Thunder. The Panzer IV 70V is a rank 3 German tank destroyer with a battle rating of 5.3. The gun mantlet also is very well protected and has over 150mm in some areas. Basically, they just unloaded half of the Foundry's metal into it. The amazing armor is made better when the player unlocks the optional extra of additional armor, by applying its own tracks to the front and sides of the tank, and results in over 185mm of protection in some areas. That's insane! I mean, it comes in a pretty reasonable price of 194,000 silver lions, including the crew costs, and the research cost is only 40,000 RP. To get all the optional extras like the additional armor and some useless APCR shells, It'll set you back around 71,000 Silver Lions and 34,600 research points. Now the real question you would have is it really worth it? Actually, it is. I would wholeheartedly agree with the price and the amount of fun this tank provides. I mean, if played well with some quick bush modifications, this tank is absolutely unstoppable. With its low profile and quiet engine, the enemy will be completely oblivious, even if you had the song Erika playing full volume inside of it. Then there is the actual fight you would get yourself into. I can comfortably say it's like literally rolling up to a boxing match dressed as a hockey goalie. You've got all the armor, and they will most likely break their wrists. I mean, yes, some will swear on the Russian SU range of tanks, but I'll be honest, I can hear the noisy engines coming from a mile away. So before I take it too far in its glory and all, and convince you to jump on immediately and try it out, I have to give you the downsides, just to manage your expectations when driving it. You see, the tank, whilst being great from the front, it has its drawbacks from the side and rear naturally, quite easy prey. Firstly, the turret only points forward and has a small degree of movement. With that, its long barrel is also prone to being blown up, which can be very frustrating. I mean, there are very low battle rating tanks that can destroy this provided they get you in the right spot. However, with the optional extras, the tank is able to reach 35 kilometers an hour or 21 miles per hour for the Americans and hold itself there over most terrains. It has a very good hull traverse, allowing for quick turns left to right, and on top of that, there's also the gun. I feel that the gun really puts this tank back into a top contender for its class. With a maximum penetration of 192mm for the stock AP, this gun can frontally penetrate most opponents it will face. With its explosive filler, it can one-shot almost any tank upon penetration. There are a few that can bounce this round, so best you be prepared to get yourself in the position before firing, as most likely the armor will help you out. Here's an interesting piece of history. According to some sources, due to the vehicle's slower speed and movement, the crews gave this vehicle the nickname Guderian Ante. I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway, Guderian's duck. It should be noted that in German, Ante not only means duck, but also means urine bottle, which is also claimed to have the reason why this tank got its name. The Panzer IV 70V, of course. I find that a bit untrue. Yes, the tank can be a sitting duck for sure when tracked, but urine bottle? Not entirely sure where that comes from. Putting the urine bottle aside, the gun traverses average, but the depression of 7 degrees is where it shows its character. Given its small profile, allowing it to hull down position at some places, you can consider it to be a stalking cat actually. Yes, I'm a stalking cat. I guess I could be considered a bobcat compared to the young tiger, but a cat's a cat, right? They all like prounce at their prey and be all sneaky like. The tank is really a workhorse on this battle rating, and while we can clearly see that its opponents have no idea whatsoever on how to take it down front on, I mean, if this is really the hockey goalie they say it is, it's got one hell of a temper too. A little bit of TLC, let's see what we go up against here. Boom, that's one. Oh, there's another one there. I spotted him. Come on, turn. That's another. Yes, I'm the boxer. Is this latency? Is this ping? Just waiting for that. Again, someone's trying to have a go at me. Oh, there it is. Boom! So here it is. I'm going to be straight. I love this tank. Even as an ordinary player, you're bound to pick up some good streaks as well. It's tough, it's fairly easy to use. You really get that immortal complex floating about in your head, and it really ticks the boxes for me, and I'm sure it will for you. Thank you once again for watching our video, and we'll see you next time.